impromptu speeches wonderfully. Please help me welcome, with no title, without knowing,
we don't know how much time.
which speech he's giving, our very own Jim Anderson.
Thank you. What's interesting is that there is actually a real reason why my speech today has no title. For if it was to have a title, I think the title would be Erotica. So you say, Jim, why have you come before this distinguished group of people, and why do you have such a incendiary? Although, I'm sorry, what's the word of the day?
On the word.
Ritzy.
Ritzy
Put that in.
title for your speech. Well, and it's a good point that you say that. For you see, I was on that thing that we call the internet. It's amazing. I was in the room, I just saw like 8 hearts just fall. Oh God, he's talking about the internet and erotica. This is not, stop. No, it's not, you're not going to quite that direction, but you're close. But anyway, I was on the internet the other day and I stumbled across a very interesting article. And it talked about what types of books sell the most. Come on, stay with me on this one. And it turns out the answer, interestingly enough, is erotica. Books dealing with erotica, not the subject, but the actual content itself, are the ones that apparently sell the most. So people who buy books, people who read books, are apparently very interested in reading about erotica. Okay, fantastic and wonderful from a very business point of view. That's my personal favorite is 16th century English literature. But I'm willing to step away from that and say, okay, wait, if it's erotica, then that's what the people want. So I am the author of 118 books that are all currently available on Amazon right now. Okay, so I'm an author. Dear God in heaven, I've published like nobody's business, right? I make roughly about $500 a month from my books. And arguably, interesting enough, just a casual interesting point, most of it comes from audiobooks. So apparently not only do people vaguely interested in my books, but they don't want to read them. They much prefer to listen to them, but they don't have enough time. Okay, so that's interesting. So that's just interesting observations. So now I've read this article that says, the topics that I have talked about, which are, public speaking, managing teams, managing departments, negotiating, very evergreen topics, and critical business skill type of things, apparently is not the major growth segment in books. Apparently the major growth segment in the books is erotica. Well, as a flexible author, I have now decided that apparently what I need to be cranking out is erotic literature. Okay, fine, no problems whatsoever. So, whenever you decide to make a change like this, you need to obviously do some research. So I went to a site called CreateSpace, where you can self-publish books and stuff like that. I said, great, show me what kind of erotica you have. And I will confess I was a little startled. It seems as though bestiality is a very big topic from a book point of view, okay? As I went through page after page of bestiality, I thought, well, this sort of screws up my plans at this point in time, because I don't really plan, I don't have any knowledge of the area, I don't have any interest in the area, I don't really plan on writing about it. But so apparently, let's just say that apparently the field of erotica is wide open. Pick whatever topic you want. Maybe we should take that as our takeaway on that. The other interesting thing that I had is, how much do you charge for an erotic title? Could I charge $20 for my erotic title? Could I charge $10? How much was it? My takeaway on this is it looks like somewhere just a little bit south of $5 seems to be the sweet spot for what people are willing to pay for erotica. There is some erotica available for roughly about $2, maybe $3. I'm thinking that's lower grade erotica. If we're going for like the midterm, basically what you really want to get out of erotica, it looks like $5 a pop is what we're looking at here. Okay, that's good. I have no problems with that. So I've now acquired that. It does lead us to sort of the natural next thing and say, so what is erotica? I mean, we can kick that word around like I've done in this speech like 12 times so far. But I mean, we all, I think we know what erotica means, but if we're going to start writing a book about erotica, we should have a good, solid understanding of what it is. So let us agree that in erotic literature, you have naked people interacting. Okay. We'll put the bestiality stuff off to the side, and we'll just say in traditional erotica, you've got naked people doing stuff with each other. Okay, that's cool, no problems whatsoever. It does bring up an interesting point, though, because now that you've had that breakthrough thought, which is a good one to have, how much? How much interaction needs to go on in erotic literature? So I've read a lot of books,
The
okay?
more the higher the price.
And in all honesty, in those books that I've read, like the Twilight trilogy and 50 Shades, okay? There was erotic content in those books, right? But are those really erotica? And I think the answer is no. Those are literature, right? You know, so somebody wrote a novel that had erotic content. But if you're really writing erotica, get rid of that novel, all right? We're right. So arguably, I would assume in erotic literature, some of that interaction has to go on every page. Does that seem? I mean, I'm sort of clutching at straws here a little bit, but it seems like the erotic content has to be there constantly. I mean, wrong way to say it. It's almost like a porn movie, right? I mean, you can wrap it in a story. Oh, look, the pizza boy's here. Oh my goodness, is my pool boy not the most attractive person you've ever seen? Right? You can wrap it in a story, but that's not really why you're watching the movie, right? It's the erotic content, and it seems like you have to revisit that erotic content arguably every page, or at least have this page leading to erotic content that's on the next page, right? Maybe I can give you a page off, but pretty much. So that's a lot of erotic writing. I mean, goodness gracious, right? So that's a little bit of a challenge there. Okay, no problems whatsoever. It does bring up another practical and interesting point. How?
5 to 7?
What's that? Yeah, it is.
Oh.
It is now. How long is an erotic? I think you're cheating. I think how long is an erotic novel? I mean, if you take a look at some of the stuff like Stephen King writes, oh my God! I mean, he can write over 1,000 pages, right? I mean, I enjoy a good erotic novel, but I'm not sure if I'm settling down for 1,000 pages of, oh my God, her dress came off again. Can that woman not wear clothes? What's going on in this book, right? So, it's an interesting question. I mean, and by the way, if it's too short, wow, that's 2 pages. I just paid $5 for 2 pages. Those had better be the best darn pages I've ever read. No. So I don't know. What do you think? Maybe. So my guess right now is 50 to 75 pages is probably what the purchaser was looking for from the erotic novel. So I'm excited about this. I'm starting off on a journey of becoming, a well-known erotic novelist. 2 important points here. First off, I don't think I really want to publish these under my name.
Why not?
Because I might become very famous, okay? And the family might not take to that too well. So I need to come up with a pen name for this particular activity. But good news, and hats off to the adult film industry on this one, because there is a rule, in case you didn't know it, for coming up with your porn name. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, there. And this is well known. You can look online. Okay, you can look online. So it's actually very simple. You take the name of your pet, and you take the name of the street that you grew up on. So my erotic authorship title is Morgan Lewis. So when you hear about the famous author Morgan Lewis, you'll know exactly who they're talking about. Thank you very much. So I'm excited about this new journey that I start on. I do have to be a little cautious because it really takes off. Every year I get involved in what's called teacher in service, which is when parents go into the school to talk to the kids about staying in school because they're going to have a career. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to tell the kids. I write books, and I brought a couple copies. If anyone, whoa, they're gone. All right, that's good.
So this is a rhetorical question here. Please do not answer. I have 2 books to hand out. One on erotica,